7 vitamin D myths that you should no longer believe. This video is for you if you are a woman over 40. I am Robin Nutritionist, and I help women over 40 get their nutrition in order. And I also help you reduce symptoms and concerns related to the pause. And when I say pause, that's menopause, perimenopause, and beyond. So again, this video is for you if you are over 40, because that's who I'm talking to. But let's get into it and talk about 7 myths related to vitamin D that you should no longer believe in no particular order. Number 1, you should not believe that just because you go to the doctor that your provider is going to check your vitamin D automatically. Some will, some won't, but you want to make sure that yours does. So make sure that when you get your blood panel that you include or you have them include your vitamin D. Don't just assume that they're going to do it because it is a myth that they just automatically will. All right. Number 2, which you should no longer believe, is everything that you read on Google, and I guess YouTube for that matter. It is imperative that you are your own advocate and you do your research because you're going to hear competing information. And if you Google how much vitamin D you need, it might just say 400 IUs. And for you, the woman over 40, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. And if you're supplementing, but don't just take my word for it out here in these YouTube streets. I want you to do your research. But the second myth is, which you should no longer believe, that everything on Google is gospel. No. The third myth that you should no longer believe is that you can get adequate vitamin D from your food. Unfortunately, this is one of these vitamins that food, though there are vitamin D in some foods, is not going to move the needle. Vitamin D is most abundant in the sun. That's where it comes from. The sun hits our skin, does our thing, and then we are able to absorb vitamin D, hopefully. But if your skin is darker, that becomes more of a challenge. When it comes to food, yes, you can find vitamin D in egg yolks. You can find it in mushrooms. However, it's not enough to really move the needle. Other vitamins you can, like magnesium, other vitamins and minerals, magnesium, vitamin A's, B's, and calcium, and not, I meant, now I can't think, brain fog, vitamin C, you can get from your food. But vitamin D, not enough to move the needle. All right. So no longer believe that food is enough. That is why I recommend supplementation if you're not getting enough sun. Now, what is enough? 15 minutes a day without sunscreen and more if you have melanated skin. All right, let's get back to the myths that you should no longer believe. Number 4 is that deficiency symptoms are obvious. It may not be obvious that your vitamin D is low right now, but over time it can be. But if your vitamin D is low, symptoms of deficiency is tired, maybe your hair is falling out, maybe you have bone pain, maybe you're sick all the time. Maybe none of that is true for you, but you could still have low vitamin D. So the symptoms are not always obvious. Number 5, there's a myth that vitamin D isn't even important. You might not even understand how important vitamin D is for you, especially the woman over 40. And it's not just for your bones. Though it's important for your bones, it's not just for your bones. It's for your immune system. It's for your gut health. It helps with insulin resistance. It helps with your mood, so much more. Vitamin D is critical to human health. And if you are not getting it out of the sun or supplementing, you are actually doing yourself a disservice. Don't believe the hype, y'all. Vitamin D is important for you, the woman over 40. All right. Number 6, am I on number 6? When you go to the doctor and you get your levels checked and you might come in at 30, you are no longer deficient, but are you thriving at maximum capacity? No. When your vitamin D levels are between 60 and 80, that is when your vitamin D is, or your body is maximally supported. So the myth is You're good if you're at 30. You are best when your levels are between 60 and 80. You're not deficient at 30, but that's like minimum wage. You can make it on 30. You can make it on minimum wage, but you are not thriving. So you, the woman over 40, we want you to thrive and have a thriving vitamin D level is between 60 and 80. Don't believe otherwise. All right, do your research though. And the last myth that you should no longer believe is that taking vitamin D without K2 is okay. You, the woman over 40, need that K2 with the D3 in order to take calcium that is in our bloodstream and help get the calcium and all the things that we need into our out of our bloodstream and into our bones. The K is the conductor. I want you to do your research on that. K2 and D3 work synergistically together to make it more efficient for you. Now, two things, maybe three. One, if you are on a blood thinning medication or you're on kidney dialysis, the K may not be appropriate because it may interact. So you want to talk with your doctor about that. But if you're not on blood thinning medication and you're not on dialysis, you want to get that D3 K2 combination. The other thing is if your vitamin D is really, really low, your doctor is going to likely prescribe a mega dose, 50,000 IUs, and it's not going to come with K. So two things can be true. You can add the K separately, or you can take it as directed, as your doctor has informed you to do. And then when you're done with that, go ahead and do maintenance with the K. The K, research it, is important to take the calcium in your bloodstream and put it in your bones and away from your heart where we don't need it. It is more effective for us. Remember, my goal is to help you get your nutrition in order and to mitigate symptoms and concerns related to the pause. And vitamin D3 with K2 is one of those supplements, must-have supplements for you, the woman over 40. All right. If this made sense to you, or if it didn't make sense to you, I want you to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Every week, I'm pushing out videos that are important to us, the woman over 40. If you have any questions or videos that you'd like to see, let me know. But remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. That will help out. And I'm going to put in the down bar or the description the link to the D3 K2 for necessary nutrition, which of course is what I recommend. I think that's it. Lastly, if you also love this video and you want to buy me a cup of herbal tea, I accept. I'll put a link in the down bar that allows you to buy me a cup of tea, herbal tea. And I will so gladly appreciate that. And I will send you love and blessings and drink my herbal tea on your behalf. All right, you can find that link in there. Thank you so much in advance. This is Robin, nutritionist from Necessary Nutrition. Eat well, think well, and be well. Until next time, I will see you soon.